We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. For you who are trained technically, I need a... We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. For you who are trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows. But I think we've proceeded far enough.
I mean, what else could you say? I mean,
Very well.
It's very well played by both sides. I mean, it's just, yeah. So, come to the end of the show. We are a little bit quicker when we're a bit earlier in the day. So we're going to quickly go through the current stat tables and discuss this week's matches. We have already revealed them. Just for those who aren't aware, the round 3 pairings will be revealed in 45 minutes. And we will be revealing the round 2 formats in 45 minutes as well. So let me just jump to the screen share.
And then you'll have 1 week to get your round 3 pick choices in.
If I put it in the right place. Okay, hopefully, is that readable? Come on. There we go.
Look at
So,
can you zoom in a little bit closer?
I can zoom in as close as you need me to. It's a few seconds behind.
Look, that's way too close. There we go.
Right, we're going to start off with this. So, this week, all 3 matches were played. The winners were D20 Primus, D20 Merc, Common Officer Duo, and Common Officer Satu. Yes, one of them had the bye. I'm guessing one of the top two D20 people had it. So, great to see 3 first-time teams up there. This week, the matches are going to be Common Officer Duo had the bye, Common Officer Satu versus D20 Primus, Sentinelist versus Ho Ching Heathrows Bros. D20 Primus versus Common Officer Satu, D20 Merc versus Saigon Papillon, Ho Ching Merc Heathrows Bros versus Sentinelist, and Saigon Papillon versus D20 Merc. I mean, this is the unknown group because we have so many teams here, and credit goes to
Twin Spade. And they changed the names quite often as well.
Yeah, and credit to Twin Spade for actually just keeping on top of them and making sure all the decks are validated. I mean, if only we had you and me who did it. But no, well done to the guy. He's done a lot to.
I'd be very interested in the HKB versus Senseless game here. Although Senseless did lose their first game,
They both did.
Very interested. They both did. So I'm very interested to see that one there because they're both going to be wanting to come back from that fighting.
Oh, they're both great teams. Let's be clear here.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to Logos. So, Evil's triplets, as we just saw, are top of the pile with 3 wins through 9 keys. In fact, 4 teams here equal first: Midwest Martians, Sloppy Welder, and Team Saz.
They all went 3-0. Damn.
Yeah. So we saw the first match already. That's last week. This match. So this week, I've got Team Saz. Evil triplets have Sloppy Lab Work. That would be a good game, but we're not going to record it because we've already done ABR once. Brothers in Battle have the free bye. Coast to Coast versus Midwest Martians. Again, what did Midwest Martians do? Yeah, they won last time as well. Yeah, I mean it's the Coast to Coast versus it's the ABRs versus Sloppy Lab Work. This one.
ABR versus Sloppy Lab Work will be set a dramatic set of who is the target to take down in this group.
Jump into Mars. Key Frogs are 3-0 again, as are No Canifants. Which one of them had the bye? Oh, Key Frogs had the bye. Hamburg Atlanteans and SCS Dealers are up there. Now, SCS Dealers have 1 game short. This game is probably going to be awarded a Can't Touch Dis. I'm just waiting to talk to their captain to finalise that this evening.
If you do follow Fable Alpaca or any of the SCS, any of the Steel Cities, don't forget do check out their recordings of the Wolfpack versus SCS Steelers games. I talked to Not Tonight over the weekend, and 99% of their testing showed that they should have easily taken this. But this is a matchup that shows that Keyforge is a game where anything can happen, because SCS Steelers, against all odds, took both of the games that they've played so far.
Wow. I mean, what can you say?
Even Simon was surprised in the admin chat that had happened.
Yeah, and Simon is also very apologetic, as though he is one of the mods here, that he's chasing up his own team for one of their results. He sends his formal apologies to everyone, and he will continue chasing up his team for the final
We'll
result.
come back to Mars after we've gone through the pairings. I want to talk about the Key Frogs and Hamburg Atlantean game coming up next week.
Sure thing. So here we go with the round 2. We have Keyfrogs versus Hamburg Atlantean. Friendships
Yep, you're round
versus...
1.
Yep, I've changed it now. Friendships versus No Cannon Fanks, Hamburg Atlanteans versus Keyfrogs, No Cannon Fanks versus the Friendships, Can't Touch This, Get the Bye, and Birium versus SCS Steelers. That will be, I think that'll be an interesting game, the Birium versus SCS Steelers. But Keyfrogs, no, so Keyfrogs versus Hamburg Atlanteans 1 is the game to watch here.
Yeah, that's what we're going to watch. It's a Hamburg Atlanteans were Keyfrogs' first ever pairing in this event, and it sort of set the tone for Keyfrogs and how this kind of event is going to go, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how much both teams have changed. But my dark horse in this group is no Kangafans from Austria, because Amber Minimum on Twitter were talking about the games, and although they were very well played, no Kangafans from Austria were absolutely destructive apparently.
Yeah.
And speaking of the devil, Captain Keyforge has just released the KOTE 9 Round 1 red game between SCS Steelers and Can't Touch This the Wolfpack onto YouTube.
Oh, we'll put that link on the directory later tonight, and I'm sure it'll be in our Discord channel already. So, do you want to discuss the Keyfrogs Hamburg Atlanteans 1 now, or
we'll come back to it, because I want to talk a little bit about the formats that have been chosen for each one.
Sure. Okay, well, let's go to Sanctum then. So Strange Gizmos win 2-1. Madrid Archons win 2-1. ABR Youngest Bears 2-1. So well done, Strange Gizmos, getting you up there.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are the teams I don't know. I hate to say it as well, but they're the international teams. So apart from Beginner Switch, they're all sort of. I know Madrid Archon players because they beat me in real life, but.
I keep my eye on Strange Gizmo mainly because our first and most supportive Patreon is a member of it. So I tend to keep an eye on teams that catch my interest or that supply or that give us financial support, because I know I shouldn't, but I sort of tend to favour them for recordings. I'm just waiting for an interesting matchup.
So I'm looking here at Madrid Archon's Beginner Switch for this week, for the one that interests me the most.
That is a very interesting one.
I mean, Beginner Switch haven't been on point that as much recently, but they are some damn good players.
The amount of events and the stuff they've got going on, they've got AFK, they've got the weekly events on the Saturday, and not only that, there's a lot more games coming out on here. I've seen Fatigued Bat playing Rune Terror and Digimon and all sorts going on from there.
Yeah, the busy guys.
There's a lot of games going on there. If you haven't played the Digimon TCG, I do recommend it. I've played the tutorials. It's a very interesting concept for a game. It's got a win condition you don't see much in Western card games. It's more of a Japanese.
So what's the win condition?
Defense zones. You have 5 face down cards, and if you've got no creatures, your opponent may attack you directly. You get rid of one of the cards that's in your defense zone, and you flip it over. And then you can play it. It gets played from that zone, so it sort of like gives you a buff from it being there. But those cards come from your deck, so it can sometimes mess you up as well.
Interesting.
It's very interesting, and there's a free app you can download from the App Store that can help you learn the game. And if you like what he plays, he's got some big reviews on all the sets, not just the mediocre knowledge I have, and some of the insane stuff you can do with Digimon.
Awesome. So moving on to the Saurian deck list. Saurian, yes. So we have Hamburg Atlanteans 2, Keyforce Granada, and Manchester Mavericks all on 3-0. Well, 3 of the games. One of them would have to buy, obviously. And then we have the Fellowship of Archons, our Swedish teams, are coming with 2-1, who beat Recam X 2-1. And Crazy Killer Aubergine and Zion's Crew, unfortunately, here at the bottom. Where is Zion's Crew from? I don't know why. Just give me a second. I'm just going to nose it for a second. They're from Italy. Okay. Just completely forgot.
Oh, nice.
So coming down to this week's games, Bootcamp X versus Crazy Killing Aubergine, Hammer Lances 2 had the bye, Zion's Crew versus the Fellowship of the Archons. Now that interests me just because they're new teams who don't know so well.
Now, you see, I'm interested in Keyforge Granada versus Manchester Mavericks for the opposite reason.
Oh,
They're
God,
both
yes.
veteran teams.
Yes, very much so. That'll be a very interesting game. Alright, let's see what's next on the
That
list.
seems very spicy.
So, Shadows. 3-0 for Kip, 3-0 for Rocket Boots. Team Kotsina were 1-2. California Krakens were 2-1 even as well. And then Keyforge Fridays lost everything. Boulevard Firepower Team lost 1-2, and Pagaka Betcham is lost 1-2 as well.
I can't record anything from this group because we did promise last week that we will only record Kip versus Rocket Boots because Rocket Boots want to smash Kip.
Okay, we look forward to that when it comes up.
I look forward to that, and I'm going to try and bring back, given how short the stream was like today, I'm going to try and bring back the team interviews, but like the player interviews before games, but try and change it up a little bit.
Yeah, give it a try. Always try new things.
Exactly.
But in terms of this week, the games that are most interesting.
I'd say Vampire Time and Kit would be a very interesting one.
Definitely.
Our Team Cocktina and the California Krakens.
That would also be interesting. But I don't know, it's mainly just the California Krakens and you and Team Cocktina are a great team. So I mean,
But Team Cocktina always bring an interesting lineup of decks.
oh yes, definitely. Definitely. It will definitely be interesting to see how that goes. Now, our penultimate one, Unfallible. New York at the top. Go, guys. Final Swindle Alpha, second. Repout, third. 8 Groke, fourth. All with the match win so far. No one won 3-0. The only 3-0 is because of the bye. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, this week, and just to be clear here, this was fixed, so Repout had the bye this week because they're one of the players unavailable. Yeah. And he gave me a warning ahead of time, so I want to be open and honest and not pretend he's not here. But the rest of these, I mean,
Baywitch.
I'll pick any of them. All of them are good.
But yeah, any of these ones would pick, but for me, it would probably be Baywitch and Welshing Fetchman. Mainly because the Final Swindle Alpha is a very strong team, but I don't know enough about it ain't Grope to kind of make that choice. But from what I know about, from what I've seen of the 8 Grope roster, is quite stacked as well.
It's going to be interesting to see, definitely. And Untamed. So our final group, Hangar Lanterns again top of the table. Brain Games LV top one game behind. Starship Looters also 1-2-1. Velocity 1-2-1. Though their game was only finished a few minutes ago.
I take it Hamburg Lanterns had the bye.
I'm assuming they did.
Because no other team have got any 0 wins. So.
Yeah, no. Brain Games LV somehow managed. What? No, that was week 2. I've just selected a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hammer Lanterns had the bye. So Brain Games LV had the bye this week, making them top of the table. Subject to how Hamburg Lanterns get on versus Grizzle's Chosen.
Yes, Grizzle Hearts Chosen versus Hamburg Lanterns was on my list of potential recording games because that's going to be a hell of a game.
For me, Starship Looters versus Klutchiki, I mean, these are two good teams. They're solid teams. We've seen them for a while. I'm
more going to be interested with Starship Looters taking on MTP Sparks. I'm always for a bit of French Civil Revolution. That
is true. Well, while you mention that, let's look at the AFK prize pot. Now, there's no prizes. This is just looking for the 4 French teams we have together.
There's bragging rights.
Yeah, so Starship Looters are topping the charts there, but only one of the 4 teams who actually won their match.
By one game and one key.
Probably. But yeah.
The last group is Untamed.
Oh, we already did that. We already did the Untamed. Well, I'll do it back. And so just look at the overall first players. Half the first time players were match winners, but we'll jump back to Untamed for you, man.
No, jump back to Mars, please.
I'll jump back to Mars, okay.
So let's have a look at the Hamburg Atlantean 1 roster.
Now we're about to reveal stuff 30 minutes and 40 seconds ahead of time. So Julian, if you'd like to tell me off for this, do, and we will.
They can't change. They can't change it, can they?
Correct, but it does give their opponents 30 minutes longer to practice.
Now, if you're looking at these three decks, which one would you put into reversal? Which one would you put into Archon? Which one would you put into Shot Adaptive?
Well,
Can I
me.
point out, they who flirt with cleavers is a Hamburg Atlantean staple. You will pretty much any event that has got the Hamburg Atlantean name on it, they're most likely running they who flirts with cleavers, unless unless it's SAS limited or reversal.
So I would
It is
say.
a beautiful deck.
So I would say reversal would be the blue one. The adaptive would be the captain, and the Archon would be the red.
See, I'd put the same way as their opponents in round one. I'd put the captain's deck into reversal, and that's the only game in round one that Hamburg Atlanteans lost was the reversal, because she who flirts with cleavers is disgusting.
Okay.
But you've actually chosen the exact same format as Key Frogs.
See.
Yep. Blue is reversal, red is Archon, shot adaptive is captain.
Yep. I mean,
Julie saying that he lost to his own deck, and I purged 23 cards of the Flutter. Ooh.
ooh. And the reason I do that is, if it's their favourite den, I'd rather make them pick chains for it, because it may give them a false sense of security. And if you make them have like 10 chains for it, then they're going to be slowed down by a couple of cards and not know how it works with the less efficiency.
But knowing that they who flirts with cleavers is a Hamburg Atlantean staple, I can imagine they've tested this thing with up to 20 chains to see how it goes. Same with Can't Touch This and Doctor deck. I can imagine they've tested that thing up to 20 chains to see how it plays, to know how it's going to go. There are certain decks, if you're bringing to these kind of formats, you want to know how high, you want to know for certain how high you can go before you hit the point of diminishing return.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. And I look forward to talking to Julian after the event is finished to work out how many chains they have practice up to.
Let's have a quick look at the Key Frogs, seeing as we've done one, we might as well give away the other information.
I am. Need to fix the logo. It'll be there in a second.
Oh. Key Frogs, so...
Is it not streaming what's on it?
No, it's I've misplaced it on the actual. There we go. So, oh yeah, see, there's the 500 one looking.
Yep, I can fix that this evening, I hope.
They have got a new Dark Tidings deck that is 80 SAS. I guess they called it before, after the registration was over. But we're looking at the same situation here. We're looking at Archon has been chosen for captain. Captain has been chosen for Archon. Blue is reversal, and short adaptive will be red. So Cleaver will be taking on Key Frog's red deck.
Interesting.
This is good. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. The reversal ones, I imagine, is going to be a little bit more even. But the big thing about this is it's Dark Tidings, and I don't know how Hamburg Atlanteans have got some decent. We're one of the first teams to get hold of Dark Tidings, so it's going to be quite interesting. It's not like the American teams, which might not have the same wealth of experience. They're going to be quite. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, and I am low-key rooting for the Key Frogs to get some revenge against Hamburg Atlanteans for KOTE 7.
I would never have favourites.
Oh, it's not favourites. It's just a low-key. You can do it, guys.
I know, man. I know. I'm playing with you, man. I'm playing with you. But no, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what comes around. I mean,
it's a battle for aquatic supremacy. Frogs versus Atlanteans.
well, yeah, aquatic supremacy. That is what we will title this match off. It'll be interesting to see what goes.
Yeah, I just wanted to go over that one because I just found it really interesting that Cleaver had been put into Archon, into short adaptive, rather than being put into reversal, because my first instinct is to put Cleaver straight into reversal. I want to play that deck against any of the decks I brought.
Now, I get you where you're coming from. I disagree, but I get where you're coming from because I'd rather put it into the short adaptive. But
It'd be the same if I brought Jokes to this event. Jokes is a deck that is immediately getting slammed into reversal. Short adaptive would do a lot of damage to it, but if you draw really well, you're gonna win before turn 4. So you want to slam that thing into reversal.
yeah, no, definitely. But on that, man, I think we should call it for day. We're hitting the 9:35. So thanks everyone for watching. Any closing remarks before we head off, and we'll see you all. We'll see you next week.
No, see you all next week. I've already contacted this week's team coming up. If you've got any questions, if you want to, like the captain coming up with things like, just shoot. Please reach out to us if you want us to help out in any way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just as ever. It's just more bodies make life easier, and there's just someone to help do the videos. We had one volunteer. Thank you so much. You know who you are. And Brett will be contacting you to put it to our schedule. And we will. And if anyone wants to help out with some social media more towards the end of this event, let us know, and we're keen to take suggestions.
If you're just wanting to record some games yourself, add commentary, stream them, you're more than welcome. Just don't step on my toes. I get first rights.
Yes, and send us the link when they're on YouTube. Just then we can make sure we share it and link them. Doesn't have to be on our channel, but it doesn't even have to be necessarily code events all the time. But we launch primarily code. That's all that's good. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Let's end it here today, and we'll be back next week. Have a great week, everyone.
See you guys next week. Bye.